problem in agriculture is the increasing demand and the need for increasing supply for that increasing demand. There are many factors influencing the increased demand, most of it very positive. So the increase in wealth, the maturing emerging markets, the improvement in technology, the movement of populations from the suburbs to the city. And the issue with supply is a very complex series of issues, but two of the very significant issues, one is technology, so being able to utilize technology to improve food production. And then the other one I would say is, and when you deal with technology, sharing technology, so the ability of countries, mature markets to emerging markets, and then between each other to share the technology that exists today, as well as improving technology. And the other one is the utilization of available land. And today, in particular in the emerging markets, the percentage of land that could be used for agriculture is relatively small in comparison to the total potential. So those are just two very significant areas.
At today's discussion at PepsiCo Cafe, it was voiced that one of the problems is the lack of workforce in agriculture, that young people are moving to cities instead of villages. Do you agree that this is one of the problems, and how should business and agriculture return the youth back to villages?
Yeah, I think the panel today was dealing with a very complex area in a very short period of time. So clearly, having the available educated population is key. And it's true that that population is either moving to the cities or is going to other areas, not agriculture. And there is a need to focus them on the area of agriculture. I think at least two of the panelists today made the point that and I think the CEO from Pepsi referred to the bees go where the honey is. And so the theme was we have to make agriculture a good place to work. The agriculture area is a good place to live. And so we have populations staying or moving back. But also, what we didn't really talk about much on the panel was the impact of technology. And so whereas today, people are key to agriculture, the more advanced the technology, the less critical the people, and you can get tremendous increases in production with relatively the same or actually less populations. And so I think that whole area is an area that needs to be focused on in a significant way, but it's a very complex series of pluses and minuses. So to me, it is about keeping the population where the agriculture is, but it's also about significantly increasing production without the need for people.
Do you think that agriculture in Russia is a very profitable sphere where people should invest?
Yeah, as I said in one of my questions, I think there's been dramatic improvement in Russia, especially over the last 5 years. I think investments like Pepsi made in Wimbledon, $3 or $4 billion, is a great example of major global corporations wanting to invest in agriculture in Russia. But I think significant improvements need to continue to be made, and as those improvements get made, the investment should follow. And the improvements are not only in agriculture, they're also in infrastructure, they're in government regulation, they're in subsidies, they're in all sorts of areas that are more, they're broader than just agriculture, but they have a dramatic impact on agriculture and will have a dramatic impact on the ability to get foreign direct investment.
Forgot the question. Russia, remember, it was also voiced that there is a huge problem of unnourished people in the world. About 80 million people, if I'm not mistaken. About 80 million people, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know the number, but it would have to be more like 800 million.
800, yeah.
Or 1 or 2 billion. I mean, it's...
Yeah. What should be done to overcome this problem, or just to help these people?
Yeah, so the issue is an issue today in that there's a very large percentage of the population that are undernourished, but the number of people are expanding dramatically, and therefore the gap is growing. And so not only do we have to produce adequate food for today's population, we have to produce it at an accelerating speed to deal with the population of the future. And so, it's, and I think this came out of the discussion, there were 7 countries, or six countries represented, and it was interesting, every country has the same issue, and it's about improving each country's productivity, but it's also about increasing the productivity of the world. And so in some cases it's marginal improvement, and in some cases it's dramatic improvement to get to the same level. And so I think countries working together is the only way that this problem can be solved, but it's a huge issue, and it's gotten worse over the last 5 years, not better. And so we're actually looking at a curve which is going in the wrong direction. Population is increasing faster than productivity.
Another question is about that Russia proposed several times to create so-called food security for the European Union partners, but the European Union declined these proposals. Why do you think it happens?
I'm not familiar enough with the background of that, so I really can't speak to it.
Okay.
But I will say that anything that Russia can do to be viewed as a leader would be good, because Russia is probably one of the best examples of a huge landmass that could be dramatically improved for food production far in excess of what Russia needs. And so to me, and Russia is already an exporter of grain, it needs to become, in my view, for the good of the world, an exporter of many other things, not just oil. You know?
What kinds of other things should Russia export?
any kind of agricultural products that people used to eat. So grain and foodstuffs and beef and dairy and everything.
But Russia has very difficult weather conditions, because most of the country's part is the north regions, and it's maybe like 8 months a year it is cold there and nothing grows.
Well, I think there's two steps, and I'm not familiar enough with it to know the answers, but one step is taking what's currently being farmed and dramatically improving the productivity. And I read somewhere a year ago that given cutting-edge technology, the Russian production could be increased by 4 times.
And how to do that?
Using new technology. And the technology ranges from the seeds that go in the ground to the methods for processing to the methods of shipping. And then the second piece is looking for areas that currently are not being used for farming that could be, and figuring out how to incent people to do that. And I understand the weather conditions, but there are places in the world where the weather conditions are the opposite. They are very, very hot, where people have created housing where the
AC conditioning,
greenhouses that grow strawberries and all sorts of things. So there's given the right economics and the right incentives, many things are possible.
And another question about St. Petersburg Forum. What do you expect from the second day of the forum, and how do you find it? Do you like it? Is it helpful to hold such discussions and to gather people all around the world at the one place? Is it good?
I think this is my 5th year coming to the St. Petersburg Economic Forum. PwC considers it very, very important. We work very closely with the Minister of the Economy and the Ministry of the Economy. I think it is an excellent example of Russian leadership. I think the forum participants, significant numbers from many, many places in the world, and many high-level executives and government officials. This year I will be moderating one panel, and I will be sitting on another today regarding sport. I am very much looking forward to hearing your President Putin speak today, and also Merkel from Germany. And I find it very, very interesting they're going to be together. I think that very interesting to see the body language And I think today is going to be a great day. Today will definitely be the best day of the 3 days.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.